ninjas, or should we say good afternoon, Jazzy James?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. But not yet.
Not yet.
How you doing this beautiful Pumper Tuesday?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I hope you ninjas are doing good as well. We just pulled up at a new, how do you say new? Nuevo?
No.
New?
No.
New?
No.
New property, Rachia. And look how nice and green it is. I actually forgot what the color green looks like. Because all we've been cutting is a bunch of brown. So this is a new property, and I'm gonna go ahead and start mowing while Jazzy James is gonna go to the back. They have a little pile of sticks, limb that fell. So they asked us to pick it up, and I believe this will probably be the only cut for the season as things are slowing down anyway, but it is a new property, so I figured I'd show you and also start today's video. Now, we already have knocked out Hamburger Hill, and it's the last cut of the season for Hamburger Hill, and it wasn't bad. It was more leaves than anything, and a little dewy, wet, moist. And so we got that knocked out, but I'm gonna go record here. I'll put you up over here on the truck, and it is a little bit hilly here in the front, so we'll see how it goes. But other than that, what else are we doing today, Jazzy James?
I think we're gonna go get some seed.
We're gonna get some seed.
Yeah.
And then what?
We're gonna put some holes in the ground.
Some holes in the ground.
Some holes in the ground.
How big? Real big. All right. About 3-4 inches. All right, ninjas. Well, enjoyed the video. We'll get back to you. Let's get this yard knocked out, and all right, ninjas, we're here at our first aeration, which is just this one, and it is just the front. I figured I'd go ahead and show you. I went ahead and brought a push spreader, and then the stand-on spreader is going to be for the bigger property, and then of course the Toro aerator. What's up? What you cheesing about, dude?
Talk about.
What are you cheesing?
Now you just jump out of the truck, start filming.
Of course.
I'm sitting here trying to get the pretzel out of my teeth.
Okay.
guys, what he's doing, he's pulling up these little plugs. That's a stick. These little plugs. Here we go, here's a good example. So what he's doing, he's pulling up these little plugs. The thatch layer on top of it, it pulls it off. This makes it a lot better. When you throw seed down, it's gonna go into those holes. It's gonna root a lot deeper. It's gonna take a lot better.
What's happening, ninjas? What is happening? We just got here at the next yard of aerations. We knocked out a couple more mows. I didn't even record, but let me show you. A lot of you will recognize this yard. We aerated this yard last spring and last fall and last spring before. So this is one of those customers that I do every 6 months or so with a one-time mow and then do all the aerations and overseeding. And as you can see, Jazzy James is getting ready to get ahead. I told him go ahead and start the mow because that way he can get ahead a little bit and then I'll start aerating behind him. I also told him to try to mulch up some of these leaves, whatever he can, and what he does not, if it gets too thick, to just kind of what I have done in the past and the customers instructed me to do is just make a pile around the tree at the bottom of the trees. Right there. So that is what he is doing, and then I am gonna go ahead and start aerating. But I wanted to tell you a story real quick about not only this customer but also just a situation in its own. There was about 7-8 trees about this size and they were all around the property, and this customer had me cut them all, and I did. It was like a weekend job, maybe even like 4-day job, because there was like 7 or 8 of them. But what I did the first day is I just basically knocked all of them down, just laid them down and cut them up as much as I could, and then the rest of the days we were actually just dragging them back into the woods. So there was no haul off included, which was nice. But what I wanted to share with you, here's the popo. He gave me the look. How important it is to be very kind to people. And you never know what somebody might be going through. So when we were cutting those trees, there was one particular tree that was right there next to that evergreen, right about where my finger's at. And it was about as tall as this tree. And there was a swing on there, okay? And so when we agreed on the price and we, you know, scheduled the work, I started to cut trees. Well, I didn't go to that one first. I actually, matter of fact, kept that one the very last because it was the closest to the house, and I wanted to get all the other stuff out of the way and then really take my time and focus on that one because I didn't want it to go towards the house. But until I got to that tree that had a swing on there, and I started cutting it, you know, I started my chainsaw and I was kind of making my little incision, and the wife came out on that very own porch and she started to watch me. Well, I could see she was there, but I wasn't really paying any attention to her. I just saw in the corner of my eye she was there. But then something just told me before I really get concentrated into the tree, I wanted to make eye contact to her and kind of just wave. And when I looked over, ninjas, she was just bawling in tears. Well, I freaked out because I didn't know what the heck's going on. I didn't know if I just hit her with something or maybe I did something wrong. I don't know, right? So I shut the chainsaw off and I kind of speed walked over to her. I'm like, ma'am, are you okay? And she was just like, no, you're fine. I'm so sorry. She's like, you're fine. It's just that tree has that swing. And I'm like, I saw that. I was getting ready to cut it off or take it off. Is something, you know, what's wrong with the swing? I was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? No, she goes, my granddaughter or grandson. Please don't hold me to that. I'm not sure. I think it was her granddaughter, but it could have been I think it was a boy, grandson. She said he was just few weeks or few months ago. I think it was just a few months ago, playing on that swing, and it really affected her when I was getting ready to cut the tree down. And I said, well, why are you sad? Why are you sad because the tree is coming down because you guys decided to cut it down? She's like, oh no. She's like, we just lost him. We just lost him to an incident that happened. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, he drowned. And that really hit me hard. And I was like, how old was he? And she said he was like 5 or 6. I'll never forget that moment. I think about that story every time I pull up at this house. Every time. Because they're the nicest people there is. Super sweet. And they're the grandparents. And it hurts bad. Could you imagine what the parents are going through? You got a 5, 6-year-old, and he, I don't know the details. I don't know where. I didn't ask. I don't know. But it was an accident. It was obviously it wasn't anything that somebody did some harm to him. But it was an accident, and he drowned. And they were so devastated that when they decided to cut all the trees for many other reasons, but when it came to that one, they couldn't take the swing off. But they also couldn't keep living their life with that tree there with that swing. So that customer was crying the whole time I was talking to her. And I mean, I get emotional. I mean, you guys maybe even, I don't know if you could tell here just a second ago, I was getting real emotional. But when I was talking to her that day, I mean, I started to cry. Just because the sad situation. I feel like I want to show you guys what Jazzy's doing every time he makes a pass. So the point of the story, why I'm sharing it with you, besides just to let you know that there was a sad situation here and the connections that I made with these customers, and I'm here. I've been taking care of them now for many, many years. But how important it is to just be kind to everybody and respectful, and you never know what somebody's going through. Okay, personal life, at work, whatever, family, you just don't know what they're going through. Maybe they just lost a loved one. Maybe they are going through a hardship, time with financially or physically, or you just don't know. And sometimes it's important to remind each other and ourselves of, here's another cop car, something just happened. How important it is to be kind to people. That was a really sad situation, and I am so sorry to them, and I told both of them, her and her husband, many times over and over. But I can't even describe the pain. I can't even imagine the pain or try to even describe that I know or understand. So, important to be kind. Fuel level low, tiny. Whew. Important to be kind, ninjas. I just wanted to share that with you. I felt like it's important to remind everyone and myself and everybody that be kind to people, because we all go through something in life and are going through stuff. Sometimes could be your neighbor, could be your customer, could be your sibling, could be your parent, it could be anybody. You just be kind. we just got back home and it's gotten really dark, so I wasn't able to conclude the video, but we figured we would do it right here, right now.
In the light.
In the light, yes. So big shout out to James again for helping me out, man. And the last 2 days, especially with a little bit of aeration and catching up on all the mowing. But before James heads out, he brought his blades. Never thought I'd have my grinder touching scabbard blades. But anyway, he wanted to try out scab. Yeah, of course. Cursed. But he wanted to try out the new grinder that I have purchased and shown you ninjas already, I think, once in a video, where I was using the ninja blade.
A sword.
But, and James was like, hey, I got a couple blades I really need to touch up. What was one of your biggest issues with the grinder that you had?
It just took forever and you couldn't really get a
Angle.
angle on
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
So he saw that I purchased the RBG 712. Me and him are actually the ones that were talking about it before I ordered it. And he was like, hey, man, these things are pretty cool from what I've seen. I was like, yeah, I've seen them and I was looking into them, but they're pretty pricey. And then I finally pulled the plug. But so it's very self-explanatory, James. And he wanted to try it and also sharpen his blades. But if you want to put it in there and just get a feel for it before we turn it on.
Yeah. Question, are these two different angles?
No.
No.
So they're
It's this side.
just on the other side. So like that. And like that. But you can turn the machine when this side of the
Wheel wears out.
you can use the other side.
Okay.
So
Cool.
But what you're supposed to do obviously is get that angle and rest it. So go and rest it. I'd start it like with right here. Rest it, and then when the blade is on, obviously you just pull it towards you. See how it goes for you.
I like how it's kind of quiet.
Quiet? Yeah. It's very nice. Let's give it a shot. So Jazzy James, what you think, man? What you think of the RBG 712? I was trying to rhyme something with that. You know what that reminded me of? RBG?
RPG.
Well,
RPG?
no, the wrestler RVD. Or no, Rob Van Dam. No.
Kevin Van Dam.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam. RVD. Anyway, what you think of the RBG 712? Besides, you left a huge...
Left a skid mark.
You left a huge skid mark. And look at all the shaving there, but...
All that metal dust.
Dust. Ninja's worst enemy. What'd you think of it, seriously?
It's sharp.
It's sharp.
It
Okay.
is,
Show us...
oh my God, dude.
I'm not done with those. Those were me just trying them out when it first come in. I haven't taken the time like you have to actually try it out.
Yeah.
But you like it?
Yes, I do. I think that'll be my next investment.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
As much time as it saves.
Can you show off the bling bling?
It would probably take, if I were to take my time on my bench grinder, try to get this angle back, probably 2 hours.
Ooh, that is smooth and sexy. Whoa.
Super sharp.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Because one of the things with James was all of those blades were completely off.
6 of them.
All 6 of them were off on the angle.
Yep.
And he noticed when he was cutting, you'd have to double cut and everything. It was just not.
Okay.
So now you're back in action.
Action.
So you'd give it a thumbs up or 2?
Two
thumbs up.
Two
Nice.
thumbs up.
Awesome. So it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap ninjas, as I've said it. I think there's a smaller version too, but I think it's an investment. Now you're set for a long time. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed some of the aerating and the situation that had occurred with the customer that I shared with you. And stay tuned for these next 2 days. We'll have some GIE videos, and we'll be back at it this weekend. And Jazzy James will be, of course, working these next 2 days while it's raining.
Yep.
With a buddy of yours
Elsewhere.
or elsewhere. Yeah. See, you're a hustler, man. You're always doing something.
Got to.
So, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Peace. Peace.